wanting me to make homemade bread on camera for ages now. And I guess today with the storm outside, nothing else better to do than to make homemade bread. So I'm going to start off with 5 cups of lukewarm water. This is actually the old-fashioned way of making it. I got a recipe from Joy Jane's, a friend of mine. Some people buy bread and roll mix, but since COVID, the bread and roll mix went off the shelf for a bit, so I started doing this recipe that Joy gave me. And actually, I like it a lot better. So this is 3 cups, this is 4. I said 5, but no, I'm thinking 4 is going to be plenty. So we got 4 cups of lukewarm water, and I say about a half a cup of sugar. Just sprinkle that over your over your water, sorry. And this quick rise yeast, with the bread and roll that we used to buy, we would get 2 of these little packlets in the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to use 2 packlets of this one. And sprinkle over your mixture of water and sugar. Just sprinkle over the top like that. And then we're going to let this sit for a bit. And it's going to kind of like a foamy look. So when that gets like that, then we'll start our next step, which is the flour and the butter. And we'll take it from there. So stay tuned. Mr. All got me into making the homemade bread. So you already seen what I did with that, with the yeast and the sugar and the water. Now, and if anybody's wondering, again, this is the yeast that I buy. There's 3 on a row, so I use 2. Next, we got 5 cups of sugar.
I think it's flour.
Yes, flour. Sorry. Oh, lordy. 5 cups of flour. Heaping cups. I don't like, some people does that. I don't. So 5 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this would be my 5th cup. So just move that on the side and get this one. Different brand, flour. Anyway, and if you're wondering why I haven't got anything on my head because I'm making bread, I ain't making bread for you. I'm making it for Bob. So don't let that bother you. Anyway, I need, sometimes I don't need a cup of warm water, but I always sit it next to me just in case I do need a little bit extra. Okay, so we got our yeast and our sugar and our water, 5 cups of flour, and I got a half a cup of melted butter. Now I did that ahead of time because I didn't want the butter to go in hot.
So you let
this cool.
You let your yeast sit, right?
Yes, the yeast foam for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Then it was 5 cups of flour. Now this is a half a cup of melted butter. Some people cut their butter in with their ends. I just prefer to put this in the microwave, let it melt, then let it cool. So that'll go right on top. And then we bring this all together.
And you get your salt.
Oh yes, my salt is going to go in there too, eventually. Okay, forgot my salt.
It's all right.
Right. So I just probably like a half a teaspoon in the palm of my hand. You could probably look and see. It's not a lot, just enough, I think. So. Incorporate all that dry flour. So I'm going to add some more flour as we're going, and you know the texture really. What's the texture of it? So scrape out the sides of your bowl. Now this might look like a lot of flour, a lot of bread once with 5 cups, but normally I get 5 loaves.
So basically,
this got to rise and be kneaded in an hour. So we take you along for the ride of kneading it when we're ready.
Something about flour that looks...
Just clean my hands up here.
Something about flour that looks comforting or something, I don't know.
Well, food on a day like today. And I'm here battling still dizziness. I've been battling a head cold for the last 2 or 3 days. So I haven't been at work. I miss my girls. Miss doing their nails, but for some reason I can't get a break. Bobby hit me in the ankle yesterday with a junk of wood.
I did, put me in wood.
So really, he's not beating me up, folks. He just threw a junk of wood across for me to throw in the fire, and well, my ankle was in the way.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it didn't bruise or nothing, but it hurt a lot.
Sat there and cried.
I actually did sat there and cried. Right?
Oh, you poor Martha.
Yeah. So this is coming together really good now. So I'm just going to clean up my hands again. The stickiness is almost all gone out of it. And like I said, everybody does it different. This is my way of doing a recipe that Joy gave me. Now this is going to seem weird too, but I take it out because I do not like dry bread on the bottom when you get ready to roll up your dough. So I clean off my hands.
I would.
Throw this in the garbage. Then I come back and throw Mister in there again. Now it's a little bit sticky there. You know, this is not my first rodeo.
Oh, that's your first time flipping
It's
around.
not my first rodeo, no. I remember when I was a little girl, Dad taught me how to make bread, and a friend of ours come across the bridge, and I seen him come in, and I took my hands out, and I wouldn't do it no more. So when I moved here with Bob, his mother said, "Now, my love, if you're going to marry Bobby, you're going to need to know how to make bread." So here I am, making bread. All right, so I'm going to clean up my hands. So as you can see, the little bit of water I have next to me, I never use this time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just add it there just in case. And then, even though we added some melted butter, I still likes to drizzle a little bit of oil right on top of that dough. And cover it. And I puts it over by my stove, because there's something in the oven here now, so I puts it on my stove and lets it rise. So we'll let that rise for an hour, and after an hour's up, then we knead it down, and then when it rises double again, then we put it in our pan. So it's a process, but I absolutely love making bread. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so the bread is ready to knead. So as you can see, there's not a lot of flour there. It's after being rolled up. So I put a little bit of butter on my hands.
I'm coming in for the kneading process.
This is only going to be a small batch. We probably get 4 or 5. So I just rubs my hands with butter, and I kneads it. Oh, it's nice and warm. And I clear the crack in it, which Mom always says when the bread cracks is good, it's gonna be good bread.
See the bubbles in it too.
All right, that's a hair. So now we're gonna let this rise again, and then when that rises, when it rises now for the second time, we put it in our pans. So meet you back. And if you wonder what I do is in spare time, very little spare time, so I'm busy. I like to crochet. So this is some bags that I've crocheted lately for a fair that's coming up. I buy the bottoms off Temu or Amazon, and I buy the snaps. I also got my little logo, Up Down Wool by Neta, that I had come off Temu. And I got Joan to do a couple of these for me, the Crafty Garden. She did that for me to go on the side. And this is a belt that goes on pants. And I like to recycle, so the Salvation Army store in Bayvert, I buys all their belts for $1 and I attaches them to my bags. So as you can see, another one here with a belt that I made. Now some of them I do have some handles that I bought off Temu. This is a different kind of bag. And no, I got off Amazon, I think. And the same thing. I crochet 3 granny square, and then I lined them with material, put a little snap on, and I don't have my little logos on there yet, but that's coming. So I got that color one, recycled belt on this one as well, with the lining inside, different color. This one here is a recycled belt as well. And that one is lined with a pretty color inside. And that's all granny square, ladies, if you're wondering what it is. 3 granny squares sewed together. This is about Ando as well. This is my favorite one so far. I absolutely love this one. I don't know if I'm even going to sell that one. And then that one is lined with a beautiful little pattern on that material. And this one here was, I think it was my first one. I wasn't torn up over making it. Recycled belt again. Lined it inside with a brown plaid material. But you know what? It's like they say, you always create a rough copy before you create a masterpiece. And my rough copy to me is ugly, but to some people it might be. So here I am still working on them. And I don't know how much I'm going to sell them for. But if I don't sell them, hey, they make a wonderful gift. So if you want one made, just give Bob a message and I could probably make one for you. You could choose the color and whatever, and then we could set on a price. I don't know, probably, I'm thinking 35 bucks each, maybe. That might be overpricey, but if you think this is too much, don't be scared. Let us know.
Give her an offer.
Right, there you go. And thank you. That's my hobby that I use in the little bit of spare time that I do have.
Nighttime.
Nighttime.
Right.
Okay, so my bread is rose up after kneading it down. I never used to make homemade bread, like I said before, until COVID. And to be honest with you, I really enjoy making it. It's back in the day, this is old Newfoundland recipe. Back in the day, people didn't have bread and roll, so they had no other choice but try to make it on their own with just packets of yeast. So I always butter my ends, but I always put a little bit in a container so I won't be having to dig in my fingers down through my butter tub. So this is probably going to give me 5 loaves. Ooh, feels good. Yeah, so like I said, back in the day, this was something that people made. Bob's grandmother, she lived to be 99, and she actually got her, probably made 3 batches of this a day, and I don't know how she done it, because from start to finish, I mean, you see what I done. I put the yeast and the sugar, then I let it rise for an hour, and then I kneaded it, and then it rose for another hour. So it was an all-day thing, and I don't even know how in the world Nanny England would make 4 or 5 batches of this a day just to keep 22 youngsters fed. But you know, that's all they had back then, so I'm still trying to keep that tradition alive by making my homemade bread. I could go to the store now and get bread roll, but honestly, I really like doing it this way. And like I said, I'm probably only going to get 4 or 5 pans out of this, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, you could go to the store and you could get your baker's bread, which is okay if you're stuck. But for me, this is something that I enjoy making. Some women don't like making bread, but I really, really enjoy it. So we're going to loaf this out, and then we're going to put it back, and it'll probably be another 35 to 45 minutes before you put it in the oven. Now, you could preheat your oven at 350. But my oven is already going there now due to having some meatballs on to go for supper. So as soon as this is rose, it's going to go right into a 350 oven. And you could bake it for 25, 30 minutes tops. Some people might like a darker crust on top, but we're not fussy. Right. Mom used to bake hers, and the crust would be black. I can remember first when I met Bob, we went to Lassie, that's where I'm from, and Mom was baking bread in this old-fashioned stove. It wasn't a wood stove, it was just old-fashioned 2-burner stove. and she would leave it in until the crust was like black. Now don't get me wrong, it was really crunchy and good, but Bobby was the one who taught her that, you know what, you don't need to leave it in there that long. So since then, I think that she makes her bread now, she don't have such a heavy crust on it like she used to back in the day. But I think that Mom still makes homemade bread like this too. So.
One thing your mother did make for me that I enjoyed was
boiled apples.
Yeah, I love them.
Mom would boil apples for her all the time, and basically what that is 3 or 4 apples threw in a pot of water with sugar, and they would kind of caramelize, and then take them out and just put them in the fridge, get them cold. And she always had that ready for Bobby whenever we went to Lassie on the weekends.
Right.
So, and Mom used to make, if I can recall, she used to make bottled beans with ketchup in them, and she would bottle them up, and we would have them with eggs and bologna and whatever. I never ever made them, but I should get the recipe from her, you know, because that was a Newfoundland staple back then too, due to the fact that, you know what, beans was cheap, and that was a side dish. So anyway, I got 3 pans there, and this one here, I'm just going to make them long and just lodge them down. And believe it or not, it rise out to be a really, really nice loaf. So we're going to stick that back on the counter, and we're going to let this rise, like I said, for 35-40 minutes. So when this rolls up, we will let you see what it looks like before we put it in the oven. So see you back.
Oh.
Okay, so 7:37 in the evening, and my bread is, oh, I need those donuts. And my bread is finally baked. And it looks really, really good. And that was a little loaf I was showing you.
It rolls nice.
Not to worry, I said, not to worry. So I got 4 pans out of 5 cups of flour, which is decent, right? So a 5-pound bag of flour, get quite a lot of bread out of 1 bag. So I just put a little bit of butter on a paper towel, and I just kind of greases the top. So Mr. Hall got some bread now for another week, because I don't really eat a lot of bread. I can't even remember last time I actually had a slice of bread. But as long as the husband is happy, I'm all ready for bed. Well, not bed, ready to call it, settle in for the evening. So as long as Obi is happy that we got a little bit of white bread on the go here. So this was my day, and I hope that you enjoyed the recipe. And if you makes it, just give Bobby a thumbs up and whatever in the comments. Newfoundland homemade bread, so hopefully you try it and you likes it. Anyway, have a good evening.
Bye. Thanks for being a big part of Newfoundland Gardener. Thanks for following us on YouTube. Bob and Newfoundland Gardener. Just keep growing on the rock. Have a good one, everyone.